start of the day. Let's to the front.
very good morning and welcome to day 3 of the third and final ICF Canoe Sprint World Cup of 2016 here in Montemor in Portugal. And we have a really exciting programme of racing coming up for you this morning, and today is all finals. And we're going to start with the B finals of the men's K1 and C1 200 metres and the men's and women's K1 500. Then we'll move on to the A finals with the women's K1 500 metres before moving back down to the shortest and fastest event on the programme this weekend, the 200 metres with the men's K1 and C1. They'll be followed by some crew boat racing with the A finals of the men's C2 1000 metres and the men's K4 1000 metres. After that, it's the men's K1 and C1 500 before rounding off the morning's finals with the women's K4 500 metres.
Muito bom dia a todos, sejam bem-vindos a este terceiro e último dia de competições no Centro de Alto Rendimento de Montemor Velho. Terceira Taça do Mundo 2016, esta manhã dedicada apenas a finais. Vamos começar com as finais B. Temos 4 finais B e de seguida passamos para as finais A. Começamos com os 200 metros e depois a passar para os 500 metros masculinos e femininos. E um pouco mais tarde passaremos para os 1000 com as C2 e os K4. Vamos ter muitos portugueses em prova. O primeiro será Helder Silva às 10h50 na final. Helder Silva e o Tiago Tavares na final da C1 200 metros. Depois, cerca das 11 horas, o Bruno Afonso e o Nuno Silva estarão na final da C2000. E às 11h10, a muito aguardada final do K4 1000 metros, com 2 tripulações portuguesas em prova. Fernando Pimenta e Manuel Silva, João Ribeiro e David Fernandes, a nossa equipa principal, e os sub-23 que ontem conquistaram o acesso à final. Pedro Bonito, David Varela, Fábio Cameiro e o Bruno Moreira também marcarão presença no K4 1000 metros.
And the first race of the morning will be the B final of the men's K1 200 metres. And racing will get underway in just a couple of minutes' time.
2 minutes.
Not bad conditions for racing out there this morning. A really light breeze. I even think it might be a tailwind. It's starting to warm up as well, so hopefully we can expect some faster times than we saw into that headwind yesterday. So in this B final, in lane 4, representing the United States of America, Timothy Hornsby. In lane 5, representing Argentina, Ruben Rezola Boissard. In lane 6, representing Slovenia, Tilen Vidovic. Out in lane 1, representing the Netherlands, Niels Kruvel. In lane 7, representing France, Frank Lemoel. In lane 8, representing Singapore, Mervyn To. Over in lane 2, representing Spain, Johan Bargauanu. In lane 9, representing Germany, Timo Hazelo. And in lane 3, representing China, Yu Yongchu.
E esta é então a primeira final deste dia. Para aqueles que nos estão a ver através do YouTube, nós vamos ter uma quebra na emissão por causa da contagem decrescente para o Live TV. Depois, mais tarde, portanto, a próxima regata, eventualmente vamos perder o sinal, mas é momentâneo. Vão ficar só com os gráficos, ok? Por isso não pensem que há algum problema com a vossa emissão.
So they're underway in the B final of the men's K1 200 metres. Really difficult to differentiate at the moment who's got the fastest start. It looks like Ruben Rezola Boissard of Argentina, who's got out really quickly in that central lane. Also going well alongside him, Timothy Hornsby of the United States of America. And in lane 7, that's Frank Lemuel of France. And they've got just 50 metres to go, but Ruben Redola-Boissard of Argentina really starting to stretch out a lead now. Remember, no medals just in this race. This is a B final. Will be Argentina who take first ahead of France and the Netherlands.
E grande final a que assistimos agora, a vitória para o Ruben Boissard de Rezola, da Argentina. Ele que não conseguiu o apuramento para a final A, vencer aqui muito bem. Este atleta já está apurado para os Jogos Olímpicos, terminou na 9ª posição no último Mundial, mas para verem o nível desta Taça do Mundo, a ficar de fora da final A, que será realizada daqui a pouco. Ele que foi 5º classificado nos Jogos Olímpicos de Londres, no K2 200 metros.
So there we have a fine race win for Ruben Redola-Boissard of Argentina in that B final of the men's K1 200 metres. He was so close to being in that A final a little bit later on, but really stamped his authority on the B final. But really, really tough to see who took 2nd and 3rd. Was it Niels Kruvel of the Netherlands? Was it Frank Lemuel of France? We'll have to wait and see once the judges decide. Redola-Boissard of Argentina, an A finalist at the World Championships last year. Finished 5th in the K2 200 at London 2012.
It's really bad for me. Yeah. It bounced at the start. Oh. So this one was better.
It's something that can...
I have to do this a little bit because I have to do 500.
What do you have to do for the B final, the A final?
B final.
So 35.072, the winning time for Ruben Redola-Boissard of Argentina. And it was Frank Lemuel of France who took 2nd. And just 0.05 of a second behind Frank Lemuel was Niels Kruvel of the Netherlands, who finished in 3rd place. 4th place went to Yu Yongchu of China, and 5th to Timo Hazelu of Germany. And next up, we will have the B final of the men's C1 200 metres. In lane 5, representing Canada, Pierre-Luc Lalibert. In lane 6, representing China, Song Qing. Out in lane 1, representing Indonesia, Spen Mayhew. In lane 8, also representing Indonesia, Anwar Tara.
1 minute to the start. All competitors, please approach the start line.
Lane 2, representing Iran, Sayed Kia Eskandani Hosseini. In lane 3, representing Spain, Francisco Luengo. In lane 7, representing South Korea, Ji-sung Choi. In lane 9, representing Germany, Anton Gregorius. Remember, this is just a B final, no medals available in this race. And they are underway in this B final of the men's C1 200 metres. Look at the power going down out of the starts. And it's a great start for Pierre-Luc Lalibert of Canada. He takes the lead out in lane 5 in that white boat. And he's spearheading it out with Loic Lénard of France alongside him. Starting to close the gap is Song Jing of China. Song Jing of China is starting to move up into 1st place alongside Pierre-Luc Lalibert. Can Lalibert respond? Loic Lénard of France also closing that gap. Francisco Luengo of Spain is there as well. It will be China ahead of France and Canada.
To the boat control lane 6, lane 4 and lane 5. I repeat, lane 6, lane 4, lane 5. Come to the boat control, please.
E nesta final B tivemos a vitória do atleta da China, Song Xing, ele que foi semifinalista em Racic há uma semana atrás, fez final B no Mundial de Sub-23 aqui em Montemor o Velho no ano passado. O segundo lugar, ao que parece, terá sido para o atleta de França, o Lac Leonard, apenas 20 anos também, foi finalista também no Mundial de Sub-23 há 2 anos atrás. Esta foi então a final B da C1.
Hello and welcome to Portugal and Montemor, the high performance centre for the third ICF Sprint World Cup of the 2016 season. Over 300 athletes from 28 nations are competing over the weekend. Today I have some cracking guests. Lisa Carrington, as soon as she's finished coming off the water from her race in the K1 500 metres in about 15 minutes, will be joining us up here. But actually joining us at the moment, David Petrovic from the USA. What's interesting is David's wife is crossing the finishing line now in the BK1 500 metres final. Hello, David. Are you proud of your wife?
Yes, I think she did quite a good race. Great start out there. Really good conditions today. Nice flat water, warm, good tailwind. Looked like she got off the line quite well. Good race through the middle and a strong finish.
Well, that's what you want, isn't it? So, David, been on the scene many, many years for the United States of America. He's part of the coaching setup of now, as well as his many other interests. And it's going to be fun here. I'm Matthew Layton. In the last couple of days, we've had a fairly sustained headwind, and now we have a tailwind. This is before we go to that, you can see for yourself on the screen the finals we're going to cover today. With one exception, we're going to cover in a couple of minutes the B final of the men 500 metres. And apart from that, I won't ask you which one that sticks out, but there's going to be a lot of fun going on.
Yeah, a lot of great races today. Starting out with the K1 500 B final, we've got Tim Berdiak from the USA there. I'm going to be excited to watch him race. The K4000, always a personal favorite of mine. A lot of great paddlers in there.
Let's go back to the actual chaps on the line at the moment and going through, as you see for yourself, we have all nations involved. I suppose standout might be lanes 5 and 6. The two Slovenian athletes, Alan and Simon, they actually been together in the K2 1000 since 2011. So they've raced together thousands of pi. There's Alan in your picture, Apollinio, who's 20 years old, and I guess he might be the favourite for this one, but we do have some very experienced athletes in the picture of, well, going to... just going down the lanes as we actually see them. Yes. Simon here, we mentioned, he's 22 years old and he's one of the pair with with Alan. So that's going to be a good individual battle there as those two go for it. This is a B final, I must stress, and like you said, the conditions are just about right, aren't they?
Yeah, very, very nice conditions. Water looks very flat and stable. Slight tailwind, pretty much perfect.
Ilya Popolny from Israel hasn't had that much recent international experience, so it's going to be interesting to see how he performs at this actual level. Lane number 1 is Igor Dorfiev from Kyrgyzstan. And there's Barry Watkins from Ireland. Actually had breakfast in this morning. He's looking, sounding very relaxed, happy to be performing at this level again, and it's going to be interesting to see how he comes through today. Niels Cruel, absolute giant again. He was on the breakfast table this morning. He can't have to put back some breakfast, I tell you, so he has plenty of power in those big long limbs to get himself going. And it's great to see a good presence from Singapore, Brandon Oi from Singapore. They've had a lot of athletes coming out this weekend. Going down the list from Korea is Mincho Choi. So hopefully we have a second to see your teammate.
There he is, Tim Berdiak. Got a surf ski background and just started up sprint a couple years ago.
But let's see how he manages to put this advantage. No waves, unfortunately, today to ride off, but we can expect the battle as normal to come from lane number 8. Is absolutely flying out of the blocks. This is the 500 metres.
Yep, that's the Korean athlete there in lane 8 with a very, very strong start. Very nice forward stroke. And you can see lane 4 coming through as well. Got a nice battle here in the middle between 4 and 3, the Israeli.
Well, here's the Ilya in your picture now. He looks like he's really pushing from the 200 mark. He's looking like it's giving it saying, catch me if you can. But right at the top of your picture, Dorothy is also looking to push on.
Yep, pack is still very close.
Well, here we are. We're halfway through the race, and there's still, well, pretty much everyone in it. There's 4 lines. It's the top line. I don't think there's much protection today because there's virtually no wind. As you can see, the flags in the background are down. But it's now coming up to 200 metres, and it's a 4-horse race as we speak.
So close. Incredible. Looks like Barry Watkins coming through. Let's see if he can hold on.
Barry Watkins, lane number 2 there. He's in his picture. Done an awful lot of training with some of the top athletes, and they spent a lot of time with Rennie Holton-Poulsen a couple of years ago, so maybe that's suddenly starting to pay off, but he's really putting it home. There's about 150 metres to go.
He's just pulling away. looking very strong.
Well, as we move into the last 80 metres, Barry Watkins has really turned on the turbos in the last few metres. It looks like he's going to go up to the line, which is about 30 metres away. But lane number 6 is closing fast. Is he going to hold on? Yes, Barry Watkins holds on. Great finish, lane number 6, and lane number 4 comes in third. So that's Barry Watkins first for Ireland. Second will be Simon Vlasvik, and third will be Ilya Popini for Israel. That's a good start. Great result for Barry Watkins.
Yeah, very, very strong finish. He made a huge move at the 200.
Lane 2, lane 6, lane 4. I repeat, lane 2, lane 6, lane 4. Come to the boat control, please.
Niels Kurel, who's also in the 200 metres, so he's doubling up and had a busy activity already today.
That's right.
But look at that, yes, it's almost clear water at the end.
Fantastic finish.
I'm Matthew Layton, and with David Petrovic. Thank you very much for joining us wherever you are in the world. We're coming live course-side halfway down the west coast of Portugal. It's called Montemor Ovelo, and there's the actual site. The confirmation of the results: Barry Watkins takes gold for Ireland, Simon Vlascevic takes the silver for Slovenia, and Ilya Polyanevi takes the bronze for Israel. Great to have a camera when they're coming out on the pontoon. Boat control is actually, I think it's a good idea to have a camera just so we can see who the actual personalities are and make sure they're still breathing after the end of all the activity.
Yeah. Very looking good. A lot of hard breathing.
Yeah. Yeah, much nicer.
Come on, Barry, keep talking.
The water was hard. Heavy, heavy. I was push. But like, not. It's all on me. Hello at home.
Well done, Barry. So there's a good team, and one of his teammates, Jennifer Egan, lane number 1 in the K1 Women 500 metres. This is the first World Cup final. She medalled in the K1 5000 last week in Rachichi, but there's some big hitters here. Lisa Carrington clearly, as she's coming in now, she's finished her race in lane number 5, must be the favourite for this one. But there's a really huge battle going on in lanes 4 and lane 6. Ewelina Wojnarska, she so far is leading the internal Polish trial by 1-0. You have to win two races to go through, so it's a case of, can Anna Puliaska in lane number 6, here she is in your picture, can she come back? This is her last chance. If they do go 1-1, then they have a race off in a couple of weeks' time in Poland.
It's fantastic to see these countries using the World Cups as an internal qualifier.
Here's Jenny Egan again. We had breakfast with her this morning. She's looking confident. She's really moving up. Anna Hachi, I spoke to her this morning. She's putting a brave face on things after her real disappointment, missing out on the K2 500 and back in Duisburg. Tabia Meder, and she's perhaps the outsider, but she won gold in Duisburg in the 5,000 metres and looking good. Emily Fornell has qualified her Olympic spot with a huge battle against Michelle Russell, who's in the outside line. Michelle Russell might still go to the Olympics because in the K2 500 there's a bit of interest there as well against 2 other athletes they have to race off at the end of June.
That's right, both very, very strong paddlers. It'll be great to see how they do today.
1 minute to the start.
Spela Janic, lane 9,
Ladies,
Slovenia.
please come to the start line.
She medals frequently in the K1, K2. She's actually going to the Olympics and she'll be doing K1 and 500 and 200. So tension is mounting. The boat to spot is the Zebra boat, black and white. It's probably some Maori colouring, but that's lane number 5. Lisa Carrington won the 200 metres yesterday. I wouldn't say easily, because nothing's easy at this level, but looking very, very impressive. But there is, in lanes number 4 and 6, a battle for the top spot to go to the Olympics for either Ewelina Wojnarska or Anna Puliaska from Poland.
Ready, set.
Emily Fornell is known in lane number 7 for her lightning starts, and she's keeping up that reputation, really flying out of the blocks there with her new training structure there. She pretty much win every 50-metre race in the world, I suspect.
That's a fantastic start from her. She's still in the lead as they're coming through the first 100 meters now.
But she does train now with Mark de Jong in Fred Jobin's group, I believe. So I
That's
guess
right.
that gives her a bit of extra speed. So we're looking at the early stages of the K15 women's race, and Emily Fornell in your picture now is absolutely flying. It's a case of can she keep it going. Lisa Carrington, 2 above her in the black boat, is also looking ominous. She was actually beaten in the Duisburg regatta 2 weeks ago. She didn't turn up in Richichi. She was beaten by Danuta Kozaks, who clearly is the Olympic champion. But outside Lisa Carrington, Evelina Wisniewska is also looking very strong in the yellow and green boat.
Yes. Yeah, very, very good. Pretty strong first 250. Looks like Emily Fornell still in the lead, being challenged now by Lisa Carrington and the Polish athlete. It's going to come down to the last 200 now. Looks like Lisa now picking up the pace a little bit. Going to be between these 3 for the medals. Emily Fornell still looking strong, but looks like Lisa Carrington now taking the lead by about a quarter boat.
And down in the other lanes, Anna Pulaska is going to be disappointed unless she makes a huge move. Coming into the last 100 meters now, it is Lisa Carrington pulling off her signature move. She's actually turned on the turbo. She's moving away from the field. Significantly, however, it looks like Evelina Wisniewska in the yellow-green boat is moving ahead to take second place. That would actually book her Olympic position, so it's going to be very close. Lisa Carrington moves across the line to take goal position.
Huge battle
Evelina,
for bronze.
all right at lane number 9. Svela Ponomarenko-Janic also puts her all in there, so that could be very
unbelievable
close.
move from lane 9.
But crucially, I think we need to look at lane number 4. Evelina Wisniewska from Poland has booked her place in Rio, which obviously is a significant move. We do have enormous strength in depth, as we're seeing most of the Polish athletes in the next in the K4. They'll be competing in a few minutes, but no doubt about the winner. It is from Oho Beach in New Zealand. We are talking about Lisa Carrington, who again has done the double, as she's going to be doubling up in Rio. Talking to her yesterday, and significantly, a lot of the athletes said, well, it's quite nice here because there's a crosswind, and she was pointing out that, well, in Montemor, there's a crosswind coming from the right, and in Rio, there's a crosswind coming from the left. It's interesting to see how they adapt that, but at least it's a crosswind.
Yep, get a little practice from both sides. Huge move from lane 9. Spella.
Do you think she took third, Tink?
Second or third, very, very close.
No doubt about who won the first 100 meters. Emily Fornell, who must be brimming with confidence now after her epic battle to take the Olympic spot for the 500 meters of Canada.
That's right, and very, very strong performance from her at this race.
Let's see what they're calling. Well, they've given in bronze place to Lisa Carrington takes gold for New Zealand. Spela Ponomarenko-Janic takes the silver for Slovenia, and Evelina Wisniewska takes the bronze for Poland, booking her Olympic spot, with Emily Fornell just missing out by 1/10 of a second, and Anna Pulaska in 5th. Michelle Russell takes the 6th place. Wow.
Yep. 1:48.3 for Lisa Carrington, very strong time.
Let's see what they have to say.
I think 3 World Cups takes a year off your life. It does. Yeah.
What's actually quite interesting is the girls don't know they're being recorded, so we might have to send someone down to say be careful. Or perhaps not. Anyway, we have some big hitters in the next event. Maxime Beaumont is the standout athlete in the K1 200 men so far this year, but Mark de Jong from Canada is the double world champion. And who else do you like?
Maxime Beaumont from France has to be a heavy hitter, very, very strong contender. Philippe Schwab from Czech Republic's been looking strong. The German's been looking strong. It'll be close.
We also have an internal battle for selection for the Olympics in lanes number 5 and lanes number 8. Max Lemke in your picture here. He came 3rd in the German trials behind Ronnie Round, Tom Leibischer, so he has a huge talent and picked up all the medals in the Junior Worlds a couple of years ago. This is Pavel Kaczmarek so far in the internal battle for Polish selection to go to the Olympic Games in the K1 200. He is leading the race by 1-0, so he won in Duisburg. If he wins 2, then he goes to the Games. Max Beaumont was actually quite interesting last weekend because the 3 athletes that were on the podium in the K1 200 were also in the K2 200. And here is at the lane Alex Scott.
Yep, he's a young gun from Canada, very, very strong paddler. Very excited to see him in the A final. And here's Mark.
All competitors, please approach the start line.
So do we know why he hasn't been firing on all cylinders yet so far this year?
I'm not sure. I think he's been battling a bit of a sickness the past week or two.
Well, there's Carlos Gaote from Spain in your picture. In Duisburg a couple of weeks ago, he came 6th. Denis Ambrosiak, he was 7th in the 2015 World Final. And Gwangmi Cho from Korea has also made it through to the final, which is wonderful because it's been quite a stiff field so far.
Yeah, great to see the Korean in this final.
So the surprise, who might not be a surprise, is maybe lane number 4, the German Max Lemke, who's come into this. He's very young, he's very strong, full of confidence. Maxime Beaumont, I was asking why is he racing in 4 weeks in a row, because he wants the trials for France, then kept going. He said, well, most in our French team, Maxime likes to do it. He feels that he can justify it. He can come over. He could come over for 3 days. So he flies in, picks up his paddles, wins or gets a medal, and goes back again. But he feels that there's not too much thing. But they say he must be a bit tired after 3 weeks in a row.
Yeah, well, he was looking very strong in the heat.
So who is first to show? And it looks like Maxime Beaumont has a good start, but Carlos Gaote in lane number 7 for Spain always has a fantastic start and has done the same again. So it's lane 6 and lane 7 who already have a metre on the rest of the field. Look at lane number 3 now closing up. It is Marc de Jong from Canada really putting it in with the black tip boat. So far it's going to be Maxime Beaumont in lane number 6 against. Can Marc de Jong come back? They're moving into the last 40 metres. It looks like Maxime Beaumont is going to have a win. He had a win here last year, but it looks like Marc de Jong at the top of your pictures also coming through. Maxime Beaumont takes it first. It looks like Carlos Gaote takes the second, and Marc de Jong takes 3rd place.
Fantastic race. Very, very close.
4 minutes to the start.
I remember interviewing here Max Beaumont, after he won last year, and he said, life can't get better. I just had a baby. I just won a race. It's really cool. So about a year ago, he was very much saying, well, we're going to go just K2 in the Olympics. Then clearly he's now going to go K1, K2.
Very, very strong paddler.
Look at the power there.
Huge start. He's very close between Marc and the Spanish paddler for second. Might have actually been Marc de Jong for the silver. Very hard to tell. Very, very close.
Well, we'll have a look in a couple of minutes. Interesting to see what the time is, because the last couple of days they've been fighting against quite a strong headwind, so there's nothing to write home about. But today it seems to be very flat, fair conditions.
That's right. Looks like now the tailwind's even died down. It just looks dead flat.
Let's see what they're calling it. You were correct. Maxime Beaumont takes gold for France. Marc de Jong has taken the silver for Canada, and Carlos Gaote for Spain has taken the bronze. But very, very close there. It was at 400ths of a second between second and third place. It just shows you're an athlete. You can actually spot these things. We do, by the way, have the best view in the house. We're completely opposite the finish line. Let's see what they have to say.
Little happy dance there from Maxime.
Well, if we hear anything, we'll let you know. It's moving thickly and fastly on. We now move to the C1 200 meters. Lane number 5, Chang Li, is the Asian game champion. He's also came second in the Worlds in Milan last year, so I suppose he is the real pedigree. Thomas Simard, all the Frenchies are crossing their fingers. He's the first reserve to go to Rio, so that's going to be interesting if someone unfortunately misses out. We have Helder Silva. Here's Tavares, one of the 2 Portuguese athletes in here. I think he came 7th last year in this event. Lane number 5, this is the Chinese athlete I was just talking about. I think he also won in Copenhagen. I was interviewing him last year, but he's a real star in the Chinese team.
Very, very strong paddler.
Lane number 6. No, not going to the Olympics, so no stress here. Mikhail Lubienski. Lane number 1, Yevgeny Shulkin. We normally see this giant in the C1 200. Yesterday we saw him not go straight through.
And here's Ben Tardiola from Canada, silver medalist from Pan Am Championships.
So Hilda Silva, he actually came second here last year, and recently in Duisburg he actually came 6th. This is Thomas Simard from France, who has high hopes. And it's Adel Mochalamimogdaham from Iran, who was, I think he's been offered other nationalities, but he said, no, I'm Iranian, I'm proud of it, I'm sticking with it. Good for him.
The Iranian paddlers, the canoeists in particular, had a very strong performance, I think, at this World Cup.
And Alberto Pedroa from Spain in lane number 9. Just in a couple of seconds, how's your program? Do you have a program for canoe paddlers in the States?
Yes, we do. Our coach Claudio actually was a very, very good Romanian canoeist, and that's his background. And we've got the two Ross brothers, Ian and Gavin. And here they are lining up.
So lane number 5 in the white and red boat is Zhang Li from China. Fast start normally in lane number 3 is Helder Silva. Well, it'll be interesting to see who's allocated, if anyone, that. It's 2 strikes and you're out rule. Had some fun last week in Richichi with the K2 200 men, where the Maxime Beaumont and Sebastian Juve were. No one heard the first one, although they admitted it was them, and the second one that was given, they said it wasn't them. So a few minutes later, they were allowed to slide secretly into the semi-final.
Very interesting. Take 2 coming up.
Well, they're away. And in lane number 8, it's a very, very fast start from Iran. Lane number 3, as you'd expect, is Helder Silva, also absolutely flying. And we saw in his heat yesterday, he absolutely flew out of his box and was caught in the last couple of meters. It's very much a case of, in your picture, it is Helder Silva from Portugal, hence a little bit of noise in the back room, which is really spurring them ahead. But also what we saw yesterday in the heat was you saw lane number 5 from China catching in the last 10 minutes. It could be setting up for the same thing. We only have 25 meters to go. It is going to be Hilda from Jigs. Yes, he takes it for the local crowd, which is good news. Cheers gap in the air. Helder Silva takes it from Chan Lee, so they reversed the position they had in the heat yesterday. It's always good for a local win.
Couldn't quite tell who came through in third there. Very, very close after the first 2 paddlers.
But he managed to come out quickly and held on to the lead.
Yeah, that's right.
So silver here last year and ups it to a gold this year.
Very nice start.
He's already a meter up after the first 10 strokes, you say. That must
yeah,
be
he just nailed
amazing
it.
Reaction.
You can see the great pattern there on their Portuguese boats from Nelo with the medallion.
Nelo is shipping 65 boats today to Russia for the European Championships, which start in 2 weeks' time. But then on Monday, they're going to be shipping 120 boats off to Rio. It takes about 2 weeks to get there, and then they're going to be put in storage until mid-July. They already have about 80 boats there, and they have about 350 boats here. So it's not the actual central area. They're based about an hour away from here, rather. But it's speaking to Andre, who heads it up here, and he said it's a logistical. He didn't use the word nightmare, but it's a logistical challenge.
Yes, quite the operation they have.
Now, does he know he's been recorded?
Design I was talking about, very nice.
Confirmation of the result. Gold goes to Portugal, Helder Silva in 39.188 fast time. Silver to Zhang Li from China, and Poland's Mikhail Lubienski takes the bronze medal. Evgeny Shudklin, who has many medals in his past, just misses out with Thomas Simar coming in 5th place. And your North American compatriot, I was going to say, Benjamin Dadioli, coming in 6th place. So you may be able to hear the stadium announcer in the background. They're just about to have a medal ceremony in a minute. It's going to be for the K1 500 metres for the women, and we have a little challenge that two of our medalists haven't turned up yet. So I guess they'll be running to pick up their uniforms. We'll look out the window, see if we can. Oops, I have to try not to make too much noise because I have a bit of a string. Yes, I could see them just lining up, the three athletes.
Yep, looks like they're all here now.
So we're going to be showing you, I believe, 4 medal ceremonies in the actual program this morning. It's good to show as many as possible. Clearly, we only have a limited time, and we want to also show you as much racing as possible. The other ceremonies that actually take place all take place in a row after the actual live transmission, but I believe you can still pick them up. So it's the great thing here is that they give it the full blast in the sense that they have the music and they have the national anthem, which is very good news. Are you a fan of national anthems? I know some places don't do them and some places do.
Yeah, we do them in the US.
There we go, just making sure the team leaders and everyone's there. So there'll be some music, and then there'll be everyone walks up, and then we have allocated prize givers. So we have Mario Santos today, the chairman of the ICF Canoe Ocean Racing Committee. He's going to be actually giving things out. Just waving to Lisa to say, as soon as you have your medal, come and join us, please. So what I found though is that all the athletes are keen to come and chat, which is great. So we obviously don't bother them when they're racing, but as soon as they're off the water.
Yeah, I mean, with this view,
yeah,
we can't say no.
And it is your sport, so it's great to actually to welcome the athletes along. I suppose that's the great thing about actually physically being here.
metros femininos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the women's K1 500 meters.
As medalhas serão entregues por Mário Santos, chairman da Comissão de Ocean Racing da Federação Internacional de Canoagem, e por Gordon Walker, team leader da Nova Zelândia.
The medals will be presented by Mario Santos, chairman of the ICF Ocean Racing Committee, accompanied by Gordon Walker, team leader of New Zealand.
Medalhada de bronze.
The bronze medalist, representing Poland, Ewelina Wojnarowska.
What's great about this is that with this victory, Ewelina now has won the series, the fight-off for the position, the right to go to Rio. So she's won her place against Anna Pulvaska.
She's got to be feeling great right now. Huge smile.
Medalhada de prata.
The silver medalist, representing Slovenia, Spela Ponomarenko-Janik.
Well done. She had the fastest last 10 meters I've ever seen. And just grabbed the medal. It's all about, ask Kenny Wallace about it, it's all about the last centimetre, not about the first.
That's right, huge finish from her.
Unfortunate for Emily Fournel, who was the most combative, in the Tour de France, they have the most combative.
E a medalhada de ouro e vencedora da Taça do Mundo.
And the gold medalist and World Cup winner, representing New Zealand, Lisa Carrington.
Lisa, who's quickly receiving legendary status in this sport. She dominated and hasn't been beaten for 5 or 6 years in the K1, and now she's taking on the 200. She's taking on the 500 now. Well done.
That's right. Huge talent. Unbelievable consistency in her 200s. I'm not sure if she's ever even lost a race.
We'll ask her because hopefully not too many interviews, but she'll be coming in to join us in hopefully 5 minutes.
Nova Zelândia.
Please rise for the national anthem of New Zealand.
Lucy Carrington
Vosso aplauso
doubles
às
up
medalhadas
again,
da Taça do
won
Mundo
yesterday the
2016.
K1 200 meters and today has won the K1 500 meters. Good crowd today. There's a few spaces in the grandstand yesterday. They do have excellent facilities here. The biggest parking place I've ever actually seen. You could probably store about 4,000 buses in it on the way up to here. So about 20 kilometers from the coast. And I suppose the major feature we're going to look forward to here is in 2018, it's going to be the World Championships.
That's right. They're very, very excited about it here.
I think the not criticizing any other venues, but the organization's been absolutely outstanding here so far this weekend. Absolutely outstanding.
Yeah, I haven't seen any problems whatsoever.
C2 men, 1,000 meters. Again, there is a shoot-off for Poland. Lanes 1, lanes 5. Lanes 5 are 1 up so far. Canada in lane number 3 also have some interest there. They believe they came 4th in the C2 200 meters yesterday. And you'll picture the Spaniards, Oliveira Fernandez. Moving forward, this is lane number 6. Why do you think they're familiar? Well, they won the C2 200 yesterday. That's Baita and Shaban for Ukraine. Ukraine have been really good series in the last couple of weeks. And there's Piotr Kuleta, Marcin Groskowski, who have been in action for many, many years. They actually came 3rd in Milan, and this is the Germans, the sad Germans, because they've missed out clearly on the Olympic quotas this year. Lane number 3, I mentioned a second ago, Canada, who are doubling up again this weekend. I think the Australians and the Canadians, they're trying to go in every single event they can.
Yeah, that's right, just trying to get that race experience. Portugal putting a team in pretty much every single final, as well as the Spanish, who have 2 teams in this race. And the Iranians in lane 9 as well.
Eskandar Hossani and Ali Olji. So it's great to see like you mentioned 5 minutes ago, we're having quite a few Iranians making it through to the finals and the semi-finals. Well, they're off for about just a bit shy, probably of 4 minutes of racing. First to show is lane number 7, which is Portugal, but lane number 6. They're young. When we interviewed them yesterday, they look fairly humble, but full of energy.
Really great start from the Ukrainians and the Portuguese. So they're coming through the 850 now.
Ukraine slightly leading. You can see on the graphics at the bottom of your screen. We also have some graphics we've been using on the bait speed as well as the stroke rate. So it's adding a lot more to the actual enjoyment of it. They've come a quarter of the race, and Ukraine have about a metre advantage on the rest of the field.
So it's great to see all the coaches on bicycles on the side screaming at the athletes. like the inside lane, the Germans are making a bit of a move. It's between the Ukrainians and the Germans now. Still quite a tight field right now.
So at the top of your lane, it looks like the Polish athletes. Lane number 1, as I mentioned a minute ago, it is vitally important they win this because this is their last chance. They're losing the trial against lane number 5 by 1 race to nil. If they do manage to win this race, then it goes to a sudden death playoff, which will happen in Poland in the next couple of weeks or so. So it really is full action stuff. They're really taking to it. Grabowski, he's been to 2 Olympic Games. He's been to, I think he's made B finals in Beijing and London. Kuleta has been on the scene a while as well, so it's a very experienced crew, and they're really saying, we want to go to Rio, please.
They've just made a tremendous move about halfway through the race. You can see their speed there is still quite high. Still maybe even pulling away.
But lane number 5 also want to go. Maciej Kamicki, Michael Kudla. They, as a pair, they came 4th in Duisburg 2 weeks ago, and also they last year in Montemor they came 2nd here. 250 meters to go. We have clear water between the Polish 1 boat and the Polish boat in lane number 5, with also the Germans you mentioned not out of it yet. 200 meters to go.
It'll be quite difficult to catch them now.
Can they hold on? In their semi-final, they made a complete nightmare of their lane choice. They wanted lane number 2, and they stopped and were overtaken at the last second, so they're lucky to be in it. But this is coming down to the last 150 meters. It's a Polish trial. If Polish 5 wins, it's game over. But it looks like the top of the picture, it's Piotr Kuleta and Marcin Grabowski are going to take it to a 3rd and double sudden death match with about 50 meters to go. Poland leading from Poland. That's lane 1, lane 5, and it looks like Germany are going to take the 2nd here. 20 meters to go. It looks like Poland are certainly going to win this race, and they come over the line. I think we're going to see some delight on their faces. He takes 4th place. It is lane number 4, Spain, with the Canadians taking 5th. They took 4th in the C2 200, so a good weekend's work for Canada. But Piotr Kuleta and Marcin Grabowski have now evened the match. They go to Poland in a couple of weeks' time to compete for the Olympic space. So can it be 3 Olympics in a row?
They've got to be really pleased with that performance. Really, really great tactical race. Huge move in the middle. Pulling ahead to win by open water.
Well, David, I'm so delighted. I know I picked you up at the last minute and absolutely thrilled that you could come in to join us. We had your wife, Ariel, who actually joined us yesterday, so it's very much a family affair here. So thank you so much for coming in. Your insight and your experience and your enthusiasm really, really help us. We have a few late races left. I'll see if I could grab another guest. Would you mind coming in, please? So just let me turn this on. We're going to do a bit of a check. Sorry about the hiss, but one champion to someone who is always available, but mostly on the water. There you go. Lisa Carrington, hello. I'm very good. Did you know that when you came off the boat control, we could see you? There you go. You're on.
I'm on. I'm here.
Did you realise that when you came off the boat control, we could see you, but we could hear you as well?
Really?
Yeah. So far, no one's messed up yet. Luckily, we heard Emily Fornell talking about 3 World Cups in a row is enough to take a year off your life.
Oh yes, it's tough. This is my 2nd World Cup, and I had a break in the middle. So I mean, those girls doing all 3, that's a big feat.
I'm even going to cut you off. The results are Poland, Kuleta, Grabowski take the gold medal for Poland. Kaminski and Kudla take the silver medal, with Muller and Schreiber taking the bronze medal for Germany. But that's what it's all about. Let's see if they can say anything.
Tak było.
So I think that's a good feature there. I think we should warn you before though, perhaps.
Yeah, I did notice the microphone at the end there, but yeah, it's good to know. There's a microphone.
Back to the action, and it's the K4 1,000 metres, and New Zealand have a top team now in the women. Australia putting together a really fine team. They keep stressing a final decision has not been made. This is the boat that's raced in Duisburg and in Racici, Havel, Treffel, Streber and Dostal are brilliant in training. They couldn't put it together in races. So last week rather, they've switched their team around. They've switched it around a couple of times. This is their world champion winning team in action. And the way we do it, Lisa, we just follow the screen and say whatever you like.
Yeah, I mean, this is an incredible race. These guys, they're strong, they're fit. It's such a great race to watch, and I mean, if you've got a K4 together, it kind of shows the strength of your nation in kayaking, especially with the Aussie men. They're incredibly strong at the moment. So
and let's hope they can recuperate quickly, because all of them, I think, made 2 finals yesterday, and they all made all 6 finals. Pimenta Ribeiro, who won Silva and Ribeiro won the K2 200 metres by about a metre ahead of the Australians yesterday. Silva also, so they have a good reputation of putting in a good boat. So there's really a lot of top teams going today. The Germans, I'd say, have a second team.
Team leader of Singapore.
Argentina, we saw a minute ago, they're offering out there. Let's see who's off the line first. It looks like lane number 9, the French, Vincent Lecrubier, Guillaume de Crochemont, Guillaume Berger and Pierre Bailly are off to a flying start.
Oh, it's incredible rating there. You can see that they're settling into some good rhythm now. It's important in this race to, keep the power, but also find some really good rhythm, find some efficiency, especially in the first parts of the race.
The German guns, the young guns in lane number 6, perhaps they're inspired by their peers, the superheroes who are actually not here this weekend. They're probably watching it. Hello, if you are. They're doing flying. And also, Kenny Wallace is saying, I want this race as well. So he's gone out fast in the yellow tip boat in the middle of your lane. So a quarter of the race go, and there's 2 boats in it at the moment.
Yeah, you can see the power going in there. They're finding their rhythm. You can see Australia pulling away there. They're coming into the 500. You see Czech coming through. You can see them power stroking there with Dostal in there, the K1 1000 champion. He's an incredible paddler, so you can imagine how much he's adding to that boat.
When they have the timing correct, as we saw in the Czech Republic a couple of years ago, they look so amazingly fluid, and all the people who know just say, wow. Their issue was in training they managed to put forward a good team, but in racing they didn't have the rhythm, so they made a last switch, and let's see how it's going. But they're certainly taking it away at the halfway mark in the last 100 metres. Czech Republic have probably made up 3 or 4 metres. They're leading it from Australia.
Yeah, see, look at that rating. I mean, a good rhythm, the distance per stroke is looking really good. Australia dropping back there, but that seems to be, quite common in their racing, and they come back strong in the last 200. So that last 200 is going to be a really incredible part of this race.
Well, in the heats in yesterday, or was the day before, I can't remember now, Czech Republic looked absolutely amazing.
Yeah, see that Czech is just pulling away there. It's going to be hard for Australia to come back onto that.
There they are. They're the 4 athletes, the world champions a couple of years ago, and Dostal, as we mentioned, is a superhuman. He's won the last 2 weekends.
Yes,
I said,
he
you make
is,
it look easy.
definitely.
He said, well, it's only the first 2 World Cups I've ever won. But with 250 metres to go, they've really made a big statement, and they're leading by a couple of seconds now.
So this is where it counts. Australia usually come back in this point, but you can see Czech have got an incredible lead, and they are picking up their rating. As you can see there, their ratings are all coming up. Distance per stroke's dropping. They're trying to keep their speed up.
Well, moving into the last 120 metres, and the Czech Republic are making a statement here.
Yes, they are.
When I spoke to Dostal, I said, are you settling on your Olympic team? He said, no, but a victory here, a good performance will certainly do as well. So they're coming into the last 40 metres. The Czech Republic have put on a demonstration. Australia, as we'd expect, finishing quickly, but also the young guns from Poland are finishing quickly. Hands in the air, Czech Republic over the line. Australia take a second place, and the most delighted are the young Polish athletes. They're not all young, but they're certainly showing it.
Yeah, I mean, that's an incredible race. The conditions there are very calm at the moment, so the assistance is very minimal. So as you can see, the Czech there powered home from the 500, and they definitely made a statement.
So yesterday, dramatically different conditions, because the times were a few seconds slow, weren't they, with this I would say it's quite a strong headwind.
Oh, yesterday, yep, there was a strong headwind. This morning there was a tailwind, and now it's dropped. So it's very beautiful conditions out there. Pretty much ideal. It's nice to be able to race in conditions that are so beautiful here.
So for you non-Europeans who don't have a chance to go to Moscow in a couple of weeks' time, I guess this is your last major competition before the big one.
Yes, it is. I mean, this is the last one, and I mean it's important to get this one in closest as we can to Rio.
Well, we're going to have 4 ceremonies today. The next one, I believe, is going to come up in a minute. Here we are. Yes, it's going to be the... Well, let's see who they're going to put forward.
Cheers.
Well, they're certainly the experienced team, but they look absolutely delighted, all saluting, well, probably someone very personal there.
Yeah.
Here we go, confirmation of the results. The Czech Republic, 2:51, they take the gold medal, 2 seconds ahead of Australia, who take the silver, with Poland, probably the most delighted of the lot, taking a very good bronze medal. So you liked watching that?
Yeah, there was it was strong racing, especially for the last World Cup. Watching Czech come back there and watching how they paddled that, that's a world-class crew there. So.
I wonder what Kenny's going to say. He doesn't normally have a filter on his. I saw a video during the week where he put thumbs up, and obviously his little child at home was having thumbs up at the same time when he was watching the TV.
Aww. Yeah, that's so sweet. I mean, these guys, especially on this side of the world, they have families at home.
500? I was not competing, I think. Maybe...
Para quem está nas bancadas, dentro de momentos vamos ter entrega de prémios, de medalhas.
I'm not sure we should be listening. It's like mixed feelings when we're listening to these, see how they go forward.
Yeah.
They all have different hats, I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good race for them. The K4000 has been one of their last most important races of the weekend. So it'd be nice to finish for them a World Cup with a good result and a hard performance. So,
well, they're going on
well
to,
done to
I
them.
believe they're staying here for the next 3 weeks, do some more training, then they go to Hungary,
Yes.
do they?
Yeah, they do. So, I mean, here train at the Nilo Centre in Montebello. It's beautiful water, so you can get some incredible endurance in. So it's awesome.
Good, so we're just going to wait for the ceremony. Just yourself, what are your plans the next 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'm staying here in Portugal and going to Montebello.
Just to brief, you just tuned in, it's Lisa Carrington, who has done rather well this weekend.
Yeah, so I'm hanging around Portugal for the next few weeks at Montebello for some training, and then we finish off the rest of our campaign leading into Rio and Spain.
Okay.
So we've got a European summer ahead of us.
Excellent.
Sorry, man.
So as you heard, it's going to be the medal ceremony. Lisa's just trying to open a can as quietly as possible. I give away all the secrets here. So it's the medal ceremony for the C1 200 metres. Because the actual speakers, they turn up the volume, there's no point in us double announcing it, so we'll let them announce actually what's going to happen. I'm a big fan of national anthems. Do you like them as well?
Yeah, it's a bit empty when we
I think it makes a bit of extra because it's not 100 times a year. You actually most people get on the stage, is it? So
No, it does make it special. Yeah.
Senhoras e senhores, apresentamos os medalhados da C1 200 metros masculinos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the men's C1 200 meters.
As medalhas serão entregues por Frank Garner, membro da Comissão de Canoagem de Velocidade da Federação Internacional, e por Vítor Félix, presidente da Federação Portuguesa de Canoagem.
The medals will be presented by Frank Garner, Chair of the ICF Canoe Sprint Committee and member of the ICF Board of Directors, accompanied by Victor Felix, President of the Portuguese Canoe Federation.
E o medalhado de bronze é...
The bronze medalist, representing Poland, Michał Lubniewski.
E o medalhado de prata.
The silver medalist representing China, Qiang Li.
E o medalhado de ouro e vencedor da Taça do Mundo.
And the gold medalist and World Cup winner, representing Portugal, Helder Silva.
So as we see, it's a home victory which everyone likes there. Helder Silva last year he took the silver medal. This year he was certainly the fastest out of the blocks, managed to hold on and take the gold medal, which is great for the good crowd.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional de Portugal.
Please rise for the national anthem of Portugal.
Congratulations all the athletes.
Vosso aplauso para os medalhados da Taça do Mundo
Helder
2000.
Silva from Portugal, who takes the gold medal. Coming you to live from Montemor. People say it's the only thing around this area is the course. It's not though. 2 weeks ago they were the World Jousting Championships were held in the castle about 2 miles away.
Oh, very nice. It's a beautiful castle there on the hill.
It's absolutely stunning, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's a really good location. Most of us are staying in Folha de Foz, which is about 15 kilometres on the coast away from here. It's a ghost town. I think there's millions of people coming in the summer. It's a bit quiet.
It's a beautiful beach town. It's, I mean, for us from the other side of the world in New Zealand, we're used to the beach, so being able to stay close is really nice.
Well, I like everything's been spot on here this week, and even the weather's turned up at the right time, so that's really, really good. We're going to go on with the racing. They've got these lovely, all the volunteers are picking up the stars. That's why you're about a minute late, because they had to take a picture with you as well.
Yeah, no, it's great to have such a great crowd, fans. It does lift the atmosphere.
Well, we're now going on to the K1 500 metres. This is your distance, and there's a legend in lane number 7. Vancouverden won gold in the Athens Olympic Games. There's some young guns from Australia. They're doubling up, tripling up, quadrupling up. They're going to use as many races as possible. Daniel Bauker raced yesterday, 14 minutes apart. He had to go in his boat. So he raced the K1 1000, then had to race the K2 200. Lockie Tame is from your sort of background, isn't he? He's a beach boy.
Yes, he's a great ski paddler, surf life saving, good background. Yeah.
Well, Poland, Ukraine, Czech Republic, and for Czech Republic we have Jakub Spicer, who perhaps may be unfortunate. The only picture is Javier Gabanin from Spain. Let's continue with Jakub Spicer in lane number 3. He actually was displaced from his position in the K4 boat. The trials they had in Czech Republic, Josef Dostal wasn't there. And so he came first out of the other. So he had the boat, but he's now being moved aside for this one. Daniel Boker, who is a latecomer to this game. He's 28 from Perth. And here another, perhaps a bit of a latecomer, who is a winner. He's just won so many medals in his chosen sport. And now he's looking to come through here. He was looking impressive yesterday in the 500 metres as well.
Yeah, we've got, I mean, it's a great field. They'll have an awesome race. I mean, you've got 3 training partners there, Daniel Bowker, Lockie Tame and Adam Van Koeverden. So I'm sure these boys will be looking to get one over each other.
And in lane number 2 is Kukhak from Ukraine, who've been putting up a good. Here's Daniel. Here's Jakob Spicer, who came second and is absolutely delighted yesterday in the. He's allowed to race in Australian Bakes. He spends half his year there, I guess.
He does, yeah. No, I think, I mean, this is obviously Adam's done very well in this event, so he'll want to obviously do well again today.
Made the final in the K1 1000, and when I pointed out to him he had a bit of a downer last year, he said, well, I was in the Milan and I was in the 4th.
Yeah.
So he's certainly, he knows how to peak at the right time.
Yeah, that's right. He's coming back perfectly.
And if you're interested, well, we do a 26-minute highlight program that goes out, I think, from next Thursday. It's available for everyone on the Planet Canoe. We're doing a profile on Adam and how he struggles to overcome adversity. Yes, you are. That's they say, telling the people to see what's going on now. Is a bit of psychological things going on?
I think you got mixed up which lane he's in. It happens.
Come on, gentlemen, to the start line.
Yeah, this is a good race. 500 metres. It was a bit unfortunate they took it out of the Olympics. It's a bit of speed and it also requires a bit of endurance as well. So, I mean, these guys, it's a fantastic race to watch. A little bit longer than a 200 and a bit shorter than 1,000. So.
But no one's dumb enough to try and double up from 200 to 500 here.
No.
I'm talking to Lisa Carrington, who's just done the same with great style. And yesterday, 2 weeks ago, we were interviewing you. I said, what's the ideal distance? And you said about 300 metres.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Here they go. They're off in lane number 6. It looks like Lucky Tame has a dream start.
There we go. It's really important to get a good start, to get out, get the boat running, get in front, and then get a bit of efficiency and conserve some energy.
We haven't talked about Angus Montemor in lane number 9 yet. He's also from Canada. He's unlucky to be picked by the post for the Canadian trials, but here's Lucky Tame in your picture. Van Koeverden's also gone out fast. He's catching fast, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right. He's coming through. You can tell he's got a really nice stroke there. He's very efficient. So they're all coming through, those 3 boys, very close. It's going to come down to the last 200 metres, really.
And Daniel Bowker, who's hoping all the Australians are going to Rio, just hasn't been decided what boats they're going to do. But here's a real acceleration from Adam Van Koeverden in the red top and Lockie Tame in the white top in lanes number 6 and 7. It's going to be a real fight here.
Oh, absolutely. Lockie's he's fast, he's strong. He's definitely keeping Adam at bay. Adam's an incredibly fit paddler, so it looks like Lockie's taking it here. Obviously it's going to be very close.
But at the top of the Ukraine, he's also coming into it. Let's see if they keep it, but with about 100 metres to go, it is Lockie Tame in the middle, but at the top of your lane, who's absolutely flying, is Ole Kukhak. We haven't put him into the game, but it's 80 metres to go. Lockie Tame is taking it. Anna Van Koeverden's fighting back with 30 metres to go. It's going to be Lockie Tame, I think, who's going to take it in the last 10 metres, but desperately close who's going to take second. Lockie Tame takes it, Anna Van Koeverden second.
Very close.
And at the top of your picture, Ole Kukhak takes the 3rd place. Now, we have to listen to what they say when they come off.
Yeah, big good.
Hopefully someone should tell Lockie Tame not to say naughty words.
Yeah, I mean, that was an incredible race. You could see Lockie, he had it from the start right till the finish. They were racing his race today.
That's quite interesting. So he was the top dog today.
Yeah, I mean he led it, and you could see Adam was coming back onto him. I almost thought Adam would come through, being maybe potentially a little bit fitter, but maybe this is Lockie's distance.
Well, he certainly started off a couple of years ago. I remember seeing him on his first World Cup, and he was like a little puppy, wasn't he? He was running around so excited. He was actually talking. Most of the athletes, when they're in the zone, they don't talk to people. He was talking to people just before or just after, and if we'd mic'd him up, he'd have been talking during as well. So they threw him out of the 200 athlete, and then Kenny got hold of him and put him in the K2 bait. And I think until they came 7th in Duisburg in the final a couple of days ago, their worst ever result was 2nd.
Yeah, I mean he's a great paddler. He's he's a little guy, but he's incredibly powerful, and obviously had an awesome race today.
team leader of Canada.
Well, it looks like we're going to have another ceremony in. Yeah, they're just lining up in front of us. It's Joseph, who's the president of the Polish Federation. Had a really busy day yesterday, I think. Sorry, confirmation of the results. Australia, Lucky Tame takes the gold. Anna Vancouverden takes the silver for Canada, and Oleg Kurak takes the bronze for Ukraine. 141. How would you position that in this weather?
Yeah, I think I mean, it's hard to say comparing men's to women's, but yeah, I think that's a good result for them after a long weekend of racing, and considering this wouldn't be on the top of their priority list, not being an Olympic event anymore. But I mean, it's a good one to race. I mean, it's good for racing, and yeah, it's the third event of the weekend. Here we go. I'm sure Lockie will have no filter here, so maybe there's some bleeping going on.
Good race. Well done yesterday. You win that. Hey? I think I won. Good race, mate. You had a good. I was just like, stay in front of Alex. Stay in front of Adam. That second, or even from the second 50 on, I just kept pushing. You got out nicely. Hey? Yeah. Square always gets a run. Oh, square.
He insists when you interview him, he's always in the picture.
Good work, mate. I have to lose to somebody. I'll lose to my friend. I'll take that. Feel honored to be with you. But that was good, Mike. It was team to team, man. I don't know if there's anybody else on the right, but you won the whole thing. Oh, sweet.
Jumped out, eh?
Okay.
Love the Polish wash.
Yeah, I was trying to hold up for that.
Yeah.
I think we was going one.
Now, normally going to form, Adam would have worked out as a camera by now.
Yeah. That's why he went in picture.
and I'm sorry, he worked out as a microphone now. So the problem is, though, if we ever do this again, the athletes will be warned.
Yes.
So they'll be more polite. But it's great to actually hear that they are human after all.
Yeah, and I mean, what we see and what the paddlers, the competitors are feeling and what they're seeing from their perspective is very different. So, yeah.
Excellent stuff. So the third ceremony of today is going to be the C2 1,000 metres, and this was hugely important. Well, all races are important, but it's hugely important for Poland because it means that they've, I think, evened the game. What I'm talking about is it was a case of Kuleta Grabowski against Kaminski and Kudla to take the Olympic spot, and they've drawn 1-1 now. I hope in the commentary I didn't say they're going. It's 1-1 now. But anyway, we'll see.
Senhoras e senhores, apresentamos os medalhados da C2 1000 metros masculinos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the men's C2 1,000 meters.
As medalhas serão entregues por Rosa Mota, vice-presidente do Comitê Olímpico de Portugal, e por Josef Benarovic, presidente da Federação Polaca de Canoagem.
The medals will be presented by Rosa Mota, Vice President of the Portuguese Olympic Committee, accompanied by Josef Benarovic, President of the Polish Canoe Federation.
E os medalhados de bronze.
The bronze medalists, representing Germany, Michael Müller and Konrad Schiebner.
E os medalhados de prata.
The silver medalists, representing Poland, Mateusz Kaminski and Michał Kudla.
So not to be confused, you're allowed to have 2 teams in each regatta.
Yeah, I mean, it's different for the World Champs. We're only allowed, and the Olympics, we're only allowed 1 team. So this is obviously it's a great opportunity for teams like Poland to have their trials. I mean, it's awesome because you get to race other countries and also brings that extra.
E os medalhados de
I don't know,
ouro e
that
vencedores
extra
da
strength
Taça
and
do
power you
Mundo.
need to
And the
to
gold
race.
medalists and the
Adrenaline.
World
Fair
Cup
racing
winners,
Yeah.
representing Poland, Piotr Kulita and Marcin Grzybowski.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da Polónia.
Please rise for the national anthem of Poland.
Well, Poland takes
Applause aos
a very
medalhados da
important
Taça do Mundo
gold medal there in the C2 1,000 metres. We do have some good races to go there. We have 2 more races left. We have the C1 men 500, and then we're going to have the women. Your compatriots from New Zealand, where are they? What are they doing?
Oh yes, they're back home. They competed in the first 2 World Cups and left after Czech Republic, so last week. So they're back home training hard, a few weeks at home, and they'll be back here in about 5 or 6 weeks.
I'm allowed to ask one difficult question each invite. My question to you is, what happened in the K1 500 in Duisburg?
Well, it was a really good race. It's not often that you can race the best paddlers in the world, especially at a World Cup. So, I mean, the fact that Inna Ozpenko-Rudinska was there, Danuta Kozak was there, they're incredible paddlers. And, I mean, it's when you're racing against 2 Olympic champions in that event, it's going to be a really big challenge. So for me, it was just really good to race. Danuta's an incredible paddler, so for me to come second, that was good. But there's things to work on.
Excellent stuff.
As well.
Well, we're not doing lack of justice to the C1 1,500, but I did need to put that question out there. And I'm sure it'll be corrected. I'm sure it'll be corrected in the next couple of months. And we are looking at the competitors for the C1 500 final. Happy chappy here. Mark Aldershaw was nominated officially a couple of days ago now to take his place in yet another Olympic Games. And as everyone repeats, but I'm going to do the same. His grandfather and father have also done the same thing. You'll also is a top paddler. 2 years ago, he looked almost certain to be in the Olympic boat, the C2, to go to the Olympics. However, in Duisburg last year, it all went wrong. They were beaten by Kuchela and Muller in the trials, and then even they didn't go through. But 2 athletes from Iran. We've already seen Adel Mojadal Imogramram from Iran, and in the bottom we have Anwar Tara. Just missed out there, Loic Lena from France.
1 minute.
Tim Hecker, also young from the Germany.
All competitors,
7, Shahrul Nasri.
please approach the start line.
From Iran. Sorry, slight error. I was talking about Anwar Tara from Indonesia. It's a bit confusing. I need to put my glasses on. There's Long Wang from China. It's good to see the Chinese there. There we are. There's a few late entries were actually Indonesia. They came in under the radar, but they seem to be enjoying themselves.
Yeah, it's good to have a good spread of countries here. It's nice to be racing a good number from all around the world. So I mean, it'll be great here for Mark Aldershaw to have a good race especially leading into the Olympics this year.
And as you all remember, he took the bronze medal in London. Let's see if fatherhood goes to change things here. It looks like in lane number 4 in the very interesting coloured boat, and how you describe that, lots of spots and things. It's Victor Glasnow from Poland again. So Poland have got a really, really impressive regatta so far. They've won so many events and they've had people up there all the time.
Yeah, they have. I mean, you can see out there in lane 2 he's coming through.
That's Loïc Lénard. The problem with Loïc Lénard is that the French fans, all 4 of them, make a massive noise. We've actually closed the window. They're just next to us, but they, I speak to them this morning and they've almost lost their voices, but unfortunately not quite. Anyway, he's putting in a good performance here in the 500. We already saw Thomas Simard, who's crossing his fingers. He might have an Olympic spot. It's certainly not yet his first reserve in the 200 metres. But Lénard at the moment is actually deceptive, there, because the camera angle was catching up. He is slightly back, but Mark Oldershaw is hanging in there. It's provisionally in 3rd place, just off your picture. At the moment, it's Poland taking it out, and it's only 200 metres to go.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, here's Mark coming through. You can see him putting in some really strong strokes there. The Polish paddler's holding on. He's definitely keeping that boat running. It's really important in that last part, just to keep the boat running, trying not to lose speed by your technique. So here they go.
Well, 100 metres to go, and it is now 2 athletes fighting out for the top spot. I believe Mark Oldershaw won here last year. He thinks this is his patch now. Coming into the last 100 metres, it is Poland in lane number 4 and Canada in lane number 5. It's neck and neck. Oldershaw slightly moving ahead. 30 more metres to go. There is Glasnow from Poland, but it looks like Mark Oldershaw has pulled off a wonderful victory. Must be great for the confidence. He's just been nominated as the athlete going to the Games in a bit longer race, but great victory.
That's right. I mean, Germany in 3rd. This would be a good race to have. I mean, it's good to get some confidence from other events as well. So they'll be happy. I mean, it's good to do this training. And then settle into, some more training into Rio.
In a World Cup, you just said something that's extraordinarily rare, to say that Germany came 3rd in a canoe event. Sebastian Brendel, of course, is not here this weekend, and that's why other athletes, I think they have an under-23 team. There's 28 athletes from Germany here this week.
Yeah, so it's incredible to be able to have an under-23 team that is performing really well, and to have such a big team to come here and compete.
I wonder if the Top Guns are honest. Does it motivate them or does it scare them?
I think it would scare them a little bit. Yeah, Poland had a really good start there. It's important to get a good start. I mean, it's almost like a little bit of free energy if you can get out the start really well. You get free time almost without expending too much energy to get that space ahead of others.
Well, it looks like top of the picture took 3rd place, but here we go, slow-mos. Just shows they call them what, quarterbacks who are ballerinas or something like that, or there's big lumps, aren't they, who are extraordinary balance.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a very difficult boat to balance in, and I admire these guys for doing it.
We saw a couple fall out yesterday, but today the conditions are a little bit flatter. The wind is virtually nothing to speak of, is it? Here we go. Sorry, just cut you off for the confirmation of the result. It is Canada's Mark Oldershaw who takes the gold medal. Victor Glasnow takes the silver medal for Poland, and Jul Ulz takes the bronze medal for Germany. So he came back well in the end.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's good that Iran managed to take 4th.
Yeah.
He's quite smart.
Yep, no talking here. No.
This morning. I was so happy now, and then just do it.
So what's going to be their maximum heartbeat, and how long does it take to get down to normal?
Well,
if that's the goal.
I think you've got a few things going on. You've probably a bit of adrenaline, excitement, and then you have, racing fatigue. So it depends how excited you stay, I think, after racing. But yeah, the puffing, it does take a long time to come down. I mean, that event, it's a sprint, but yet it's a bit of fitness, endurance. So I don't know, you're edging every muscle getting through that race. So it's a tactical, but yeah, it's a sprint. So it's a tough event.
Well, we're going to show you the lineup for the last event covering live today. It's going to be the K4 500 meters. I guess it's not possible for you with your already ambitious program. Have you had a go? Would you like to have a go at some point?
Yeah, I mean the K4, it's a fun event, and I mean especially if you've got a group of powerful girls with you, you get to go as fast as you can. So, I mean it is the fastest boat out there for us. So, I mean it's exciting. We want to go as fast as we can. So. Yeah, it's fun, and I mean it's only about 90 seconds long, so from start to finish as hard as you can.
Well, I think we're going to have another ceremony. I believe we are going to have the K4 1000 men. They're going to be coming up. In fact, I know they are. They can actually see them just in front. They're just organising their positions, so they're correct. Just lining up the protocol. They actually had there's the beautiful castle where they had the jousting tournament 2 weeks ago. Absolutely stunning. It's about 2 or 3 kilometres away from here. It's if you can walk around it, and it's I suppose an ideal place for jousting. There's the boat house, 18 hangars, so all the teams are allocated their specific place. In the right-hand side is a very efficient dining room.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the men's K4 1000 metres will begin.
I know people have been collecting statistics on how many podiums Kenny Wallace has made since 2012. And it must be in the mid-50s now. I know he broke through 50, and he just...
Yeah, I mean, he's an incredible paddler and so versatile. So to be able to get that many medals, he must do, so many events from the 200 to the 5K. So, yeah, he's a very incredible paddler.
Yeah, I think he's going to be feeling a bit lonely today in the 5K if he does it. Because since the last 5 years I've been doing this commentating, it's pretty much always the case. It's there's 50 guys who are all very good going the 5,000 metres. The last lap, or the last 2 laps, it's Max Hoff leading Kenny Wallace. The last 200 metres, it's always Kenny Wallace overtakes, smiles, they have a beer together, and then that's it.
Senhores, apresentamos os medalhados do K4 1000 metros masculinos.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the men's K4 1000 metres.
As medalhas serão entregues por Vítor Félix, presidente da Federação Portuguesa de Canoagem, e por Jerzy Jabkovic, team leader da República Checa.
The medals will be presented by Vitor Felix, president of the Portuguese Canoe Federation, accompanied by Jerzy Jabkovic, team leader of the Czech Republic.
E os medalhados de bronze.
The bronze medalists, Poland.
I haven't done the stats, but I think Poland have been the most successful team. They just won so many events this weekend, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly. And the women, I've both had medalists in both my events. So, I mean, they're a very strong nation.
And also, I suppose it helps that they had their internal trials this weekend, so their AAA team turns up.
Yeah, so especially it's great, for other paddlers like myself to be racing, the best.
I feel sorry for Marta Volchkiewicz. I really do.
I mean, she's an incredible paddler. She's got
Silver
a great start on her. So.
Australia.
Yeah.
Well, when we were listening to interviews earlier today with the Australian coaching team, they do say that the final lineup for the K4 has not been made. These guys are putting in a good case, but there's a couple of other athletes you might want to spot.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got 2 young boys in there, Jordan and Riley, and it's so tough to be amongst, older paddlers, and you've got Murray Stewart back in Australia. So who's to say he might come back? So, I mean, it's tough, but they've got their best paddlers, and they're trying their best, and they want their best team and boat at the Olympics.
And there's Daniel Bakker, who's putting forward a convincing argument as well.
Yeah, exactly.
But really impressive from the Czechs. As I mentioned, they struggled with their rhythm, and it looks like they didn't struggle in this regatta.
No, they were very strong through there, especially from the 500. You can see the power going into every stroke they were taking.
The chap blocking out the light on the left. He won his last 2 races in K1 1000.
That's right. I mean, to have that athlete in your boat, you'd be pretty confident.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da República Checa.
Please rise for the national anthem of the Czech Republic.
Czech Republic take the gold, Australia take the silver, and Poland take the bronze medal. Will this be an indicator for what's going forward in Rio? We'll have to watch this space. It's only 2 months away now. Do you have one little chart on your wall that you're ticking off things? Because journalists must remind you 100 times a day.
Yeah, I try not to count down the days. I mean, it's all about, just embracing the moment. So not looking too far ahead. It gets a bit scary.
And apart from doing the commentary today, another highlight of your year, hopefully.
Yeah.
Well, Kenny, I think he should have patented the selfie.
Yes, I think he was the first one to do it on the podium a few years ago. So everyone's doing it now. It's a bit of a trend.
K4 women, 500 meters. Voltakevich, Kiela, Dznieska, Naya, and Mikolajczyk. Now that is a real powerhouse. And they've been together for about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, this is going to be an incredible race. It does excite me watching these girls. The Polish, very strong competitors. Each one of them has won a medal this weekend in another event. So I think they're definitely ones to watch today.
Well, Fritz Medhard, where are we? The Germans, the young German team, are putting forward a very impressive line out there. Meder and Krakerman. So all the Germans have raced a couple of times this weekend as well.
Yeah, they have.
Hungary, I think what we're seeing is their second boats in most nations, apart from the Poles in lane number 8. Ukraine won in Duisburg the World Cup. This is not any of the athletes competing in that. They're actually competing today.
You also got Portugal, who I think that's their number one crew.
That's their top boat, is it?
Yeah, I'm sure they will be. They will have a great race today, being at home with so many supporters as well.
That adds a bit, doesn't it?
It does. It does. I mean, it's so strong here, and the Portuguese are really awesome people, supportive.
So who do we look out for? Lane number 8, I would suggest, is going to be good, and that's going to be Poland. Lane number 4 is Portugal, but so far lanes number 8, which is Poland, and 9, which is Spain, have absolutely flown out of the blocks.
You would expect them to fly at the blocks with Marta in the front there, the K1 200 paddler.
And yesterday, the way she brought home the K2 200 in the last 10 metres was like with Beata Mikolajczyk, who's actually at the stern of this boat, was absolutely very impressive. So in the first 150 metres, the Polish Olympic crew are really, really putting it forward. And Enya Wisniewski, who won the 1,000 metres yesterday. 2 years ago, her doctor said, you never paddle again. So that's a really good recovery. And Caroline Naya in the third seed is also doing well. So it's halfway through the race. And what do you see?
It looks like Hungary coming through on the top of the lane there as well. You got Spain also charging through there. Portugal and Germany hanging in there for third.
So the stroke rate, it looks Hungary really pushing it harder.
Yeah, you can see that, Germany and Hungary are lifting there, especially the Spanish also quite a bit higher. Also coming into that last part of the race, they will be rating it a little bit higher to try and get as much boat speed as they can.
Well, down to the last 50 metres, it's going to be Poland who take it by pretty much a boat length, but the young Hungarians are really fighting back with lanes number 6. The Germans also looking for pride. Who's going to take second? Well, 5 metres out, it was going to be Hungary. 2 metres out, it was possibly Germany. And most of their team, I believe, they were World Junior Championships in 2013, the Germans, so they're really pushing forward the next generation.
Yeah, it's really good to have as many, to be able to race, especially for the Polish to, practice what they can as a group, as a team, go through the process. So racing here would be incredibly important for them. And also just shows the strength of the nations with Hungary and Germany, with, their junior crews coming through.
They're also excited, and they're such a pain to interview. Beata Mikulajczyk speaks very good English, and for the last 5 years, she always says the same. How was your race, Beata? Well, a very good start, very good middle, and a very good finish. Ha ha ha. And no matter, I even asked them to interview themselves in Polish yesterday, and I believe they said the same thing. But Marta Woltkiewicz is a powerful athlete, isn't she?
She is. She's an incredible starter, and to have her in the front of the boat, I'm sure that's what's giving the Polish a great start. I mean, all these girls are fast 200 paddlers anyway, and 500 and 1,000. So, they're great athletes.
Well, it's certainly. I think we're coming to the end of the transmission in the next couple of minutes. It's going to be. You can see it on YouTube. Whatever you want to in the next, as long as you like, because it's going on Planet Canoe, he says, mumbling away. I'm Matthew Layton. Lisa Carrington, thank you so much for coming in. We have David Petrovic, who was in for the first half hour for the coach. For here, it gives you a slightly different perspective, doesn't it? It shows you you what's happening. Before we get you to answer that, Poland take the gold with Wozniacka, Krylewska, Naya and Mikulajczyk. Germany take the silver, and Hungary take the bronze medal. So yeah, from yourself, who's always rushing around to keep everyone happy. Yeah, look at that. The second and third, very close finishing there. So it's always great when you've got such close finishes. Makes the competition strong. Well, thank you very much for listening. Thank you, Lisa, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Goodbye.
Cool, thank you very much.
Senhoras e senhores, a cerimónia de entrega de medalhas do K1 200 metros homens vai começar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the men's K1 200 meters will begin.
Senhoras e senhores, apresentamos os medalhados do K1 200 metros homens.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the men's K1 200 meters.
As medalhas serão entregues por Frank Garner, membro da Comissão de Canoagem de Velocidade da Federação Internacional, e por Vincent Ola, team leader de França.
The medals will be presented by Frank Garner, Chair of the ICF Canoe Sprint Committee and member of ICF Board of Directors, accompanied by Vincent Holler, team leader of France.
E o medalhado de bronze é...
The bronze medalist, representing Spain, Carlos Garot.
E o medalhado de prata é...
The silver medalist, representing Canada, Mark de Jong.
E o medalhado de ouro e vencedor da Taça do Mundo...
And the gold medalist and World Cup winner, representing France, Maxime Beaumont.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional de França.
Please rise for the national anthem of France.
Vosso aplauso para os medalhados da Taça do Mundo 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for your 2016 World Cup medalists.
hacer unas preguntas, no nada serio. ¿Puedes acompañar? Oye.
Alors voilà.
Merci. Pour Vincent.
Oui, c'est pour Vincent, pour toi. Alors, on se fait une photo? Ça y est, tu l'as eu?
Pose ça, ça fait pas sérieux.
Hein?
Ouais.
Ça va?
Ouais.
Ému?
Un petit peu. Une Marseillaise.
Ouais, j'imagine. Bon, alors, il y a le micro. Ouais, ouais.
Devem ter ficado uns plastiquezinhos na roldeira.
Bom?
O calor também te agarrou a corda, tem que se limpar a corda. Pode ser isso, ou pode ser a corda ratada, não sei. Quando enrolarmos já vemos como é que está. Pendura-te aí e vai lá ver. Pendura-te a corda e vai lá ver. É assim, é na parte de cima. Limpar. A bola de ténis limpava. Se for apertada à corda, vai raspando de frente. A bola de ténis é boa para isso. Passa uma, duas vezes. Mas continua a fugir ligeiramente para a esquerda, né? Desde estar sempre a confessar. Se largares tudo, ela vai sempre desviando. Ela desvia. E não fizemos nada. Espera aí, que eu tenho aqui. Eu tenho explicação, meu. Já viste? Tens de fazer. Precisa que esteja a correr bem, brother. Pá, dá uma olhadela a ver se tens muita borracha agarrada à rodinha. Estás a ver aí uma que deve ter qualquer coisa. Pronto, pode arrancar.
Senhoras e senhores, a cerimónia de entrega de medalhas do K1 500 metros homens vai começar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the men's K1 500 meters will begin.
Senhoras e senhores, apresentamos os medalhados do K1 500 metros homens.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the men's K1 500 meters.
As medalhas serão entregues por José Garcia, chefe da Missão Olímpica para o Rio 2016, e por Christine Bain, team leader da Austrália.
The medals will be presented by José Garcia, chef de mission for the Portuguese Olympic team for Rio 2016, accompanied by Christine Bain, the team leader of Australia.
E o medalhado de bronze.
The bronze medalist representing Ukraine, Ole Kuharik.
E o medalhado de prata.
The silver medalist representing Canada, Adam van Coverden.
E o medalhado de ouro e vencedor da Taça do Mundo.
And the gold medalist and World Cup winner representing Australia, Lachlan Tane.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da Austrália.
Please rise for the national anthem of Australia.
Senhoras e senhores, o vosso aplauso aos medalhados da Taça do Mundo 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for your 2016 World Cup medalists.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional do Canadá.
Please rise for the national anthem of Canada.
senhores, o vosso aplauso aos medalhados da Taça do Mundo 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for your 2016 World Cup medalists.
Queres lá o meu telemóvel?
Para as placas.
Não podemos levar o telemóvel.
Placas. Segundas. Alemãs. Terceiras e mais. É a última, vamos meninas, é a última, de último esforço. É a última não. Quero agora a última dele e vocês tiveram que ficar ali. Vai ser medalhado.
Não é. Vai ficar o hino da ICF para a gente.
Olha, eu já sei o hino da Polónia do Pony Salteiro.
Mas não é difícil.
Mas é que já se eles sabem todos.
Aqui há uns anos atrás eu conhecia o hino, aliás, foi o primeiro hino que eu comecei a aprender, foi o norte-americano. A gente via era jogos verde.
Outra vez acho que foi no campeonato europeu que foi aqui, era o húngaro. As húngaras. Este ano é esta, já enjoou.
São os únicos que estão aí com a equipe principal. Os outros é com os júniores.
Senhoras e senhores, a cerimónia de entrega de medalhas do K4 500 metros mulheres vai começar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the medal ceremony of the women's K4 500 meters will begin.
senhores, apresentamos as medalhadas do K1, K4 500 metros mulheres.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present the medalists for the women's K4 500 meters.
As medalhas serão entregues por Vítor Pataco, vice-presidente do Instituto Português do Desporto e Juventude, e por Josef Benarovic, presidente da Federação Polaca de Canoagem.
The medals will be presented by Victor Pataco, Vice President of the Portuguese Institute of Sport, accompanied by Josef Benarovic, President of the Polish Canoe Federation.
E as medalhadas de bronze.
The bronze medalists, representing Hungary, Anett Zilagi, Rita Katrinets, Esther Malchina and Agnes Sabo.
E as medalhadas de prata.
The silver medalists, representing Germany, Yasmin Fritz, Melanie Gerhardt, Tabea Medet and Nina Krankeman.
E as medalhadas de ouro e vencedoras da Taça do Mundo.
And the gold medalists and World Cup winners, representing Poland, Marta Woltkiewicz, Karolina Naya, Edita Jeniszewska-Kerka and Beata Mikołajczyk.
Não foi. Ah, é? Vai, não.
Por favor, levantem-se para escutar o hino nacional da Polónia.
Please rise for the national anthem of Poland.
Aplausos às vencedoras da Taça do Mundo 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for your 2016 World Cup medalists. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the medal ceremonies from this morning's racing. We'll be back at 2:30 this afternoon for more finals racing, with the A final of the women's C2 500 metres and the A final of the men's K2 500 metres. And that will be followed by the men's and women's K4 200 metres. Then later on this afternoon, we'll have the 5K racing, the K1 for men and women, and the C1 5,000 metres. So that all kicks off at 2:30 with the final of the women's C2 500.